for your listening pleasure, straight out of Milwaukee, the least talked about podcast in Wisconsin, Hip or Critical, with your guides Alexa, MKE, and MoKE, MOKE, Shock the MoKE, where we praise and vent on all things that in the end just
doesn't matter. Yay! So, hey Dave, how you doing?
Good. I was just turning off the weather report as we were sitting down here, and I guess Minnesota's got some snow already, and
Minneapolis snowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Here it is, folks.
Yep. So yeah. So let's see. We got to do all of our goodies here.
Is that our bubbles?
Yeah, it's our bubbles. I'm trying to remember our bubbles and stuff. So, have you been out at all looking at the lovely trees that have no more leaves on them?
Right. Well, they're all on the ground now, rolling around. That's for sure. But yeah, we got a good just to drive around enough in the back roads and everything. So, and it was kind of odd. It was like one of those things where all of a sudden, boom, there was a lot of color, and then there wouldn't be. Then there's a lot of color, and then there wasn't. You know, it was kind of like that for a little bit.
Yeah, we decided to do our second color run. You okay there?
Not COVID.
Okay, good.
I can still taste and smell.
There you go. So we did our second color run. We went down Highway 60, which is always pretty, and then we were going up Highway 35, which is the Great River Road. For those who don't know, and we get to Genoa, and there is a detour.
Oh,
so
boy.
We're like, oh, okay, there's a detour.
But you're on a Sunday drive anyway, so detours are fun, right?
It was a Saturday drive, but, you know, there's technicalities. So we start going up Highway 56 and start realizing it's gorgeous. And we could have crossed over by Highway K, which was just a few miles outside of Genoa, but the detour had you going like way the hell out of the way to Viroqua, which was stupid, but the more we're like driving, Roger's like, and then I was like, this is really pretty. So then not only is it pretty, it's also twisty.
Oh, boy.
So we had a lot of fun on that. So, but yeah, I mean, colors were beautiful. This was a really nice year for colors. Yeah, it was awesome. So that was our last Saturday. So what have you been up to?
Well, your Saturdays are going to be back into watching Badgers from now on, right? Now,
I don't follow the Badgers. I mean, I want them to do well. I'm just not a Badgers fan.
Right.
Well, I shouldn't say I'm not a Badgers fan. I'm not a Badgers watcher.
Right, I've got you. Fan, but not an ultimate fan. I got you. Yeah, the more on the Yukon, just to update. This is what it actually Yukon is. It's a tuber.
Okay, that's vulgar. Go put that back.
This is Yoda's walking stick, is what this is, actually.
Oh, my goodness.
Or Baby Yoda from the Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Mandalier. Is that a chandelier with pictures of men on it or something? Is that?
I don't know. That might be a mandrake with a chandelier, because a mandrake always looks like a weird little man. Have you ever seen those? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm melding a few things there. All right, well, we did some experiments with the Yukon. We threw it in some stew. So after cooking down, we used it like a potato. And after cooking about an hour and a half, it still had the firmness of a potato you just kind of put it in almost.
Okay.
You know, that was cooked, but it was not mushy.
Okay.
Chrissy actually tried to make some mashed Yukon, like mashed potatoes out of it. Boiled it for an hour and a half. It was still hard,
Really?
kind of like when you have pineapple, you know, a hard piece of pineapple. It's a triangle, you know, and it's, you know, it bites in. It's substantial, you know. So it was still like that. And the next morning, it was still like that. We left it on, turned it off, and left it on the stove. It still was like that. So
I would try in a pressure cooker in that case.
Yeah, well, but I think this is a unique thing to use now. Let's just use that to our advantage. I mean, we put it in a dessert. We put some rhubarb, some strawberries, boiled it, you know, cooked it down, put it on a graham cracker crust with the Yukon. I mean, the Yukon was cooked with the strawberry and rhubarb. Put it all together. Did another half hour in the oven. It was great. the Yacon still had a firmness like a firm apple, would after an apple pie. So
Nice.
this stuff is kind of like indestructible for firmness. It's always going to be firm. I'm going to try some. Then we did some pickling. We did some water bath pickling. So got
Like
some
a cold pickle or a warm pickle?
warm pickle,
Okay.
boiled it, but not pressure cooked.
Okay.
But I did. We bought some seasoning, added the vinegar, I added the water, threw it in. I did one. I threw some rhubarb pieces in. Another one, we did red wine vinegar, and I threw in some pepper pieces. So serrano peppers. So we'll see. So,
Ooh.
so I've got about 6 jars. 3 of the red wine, 4 of the regular. 2 of those are rhubarb. So we'll have to figure out, see
You
how
can do an
that.
on-air tasting?
Yeah, right. I'll have to do the pickle. Yeah, we'll have
Yeah.
to. Yeah, yeah. So I think, but I think pickling is going to be a big thing, and I think this thing will freeze even after you freeze it and bring it back out. It probably is going to keep this firmness if it won't even cook down. So this stuff might be indestructible as far as that's concerned.
That's interesting. Now you have to start an entire blog with
I know
Yacon
it's
recipes.
got to have its own Facebook page. Hey, we're yakking yak on
There you go. You
on
need
the
to make like a
phone.
you need to make like a little caricature of the little guy, and he has to have like little eyes and like a little mouth.
Yakoni. Ah, Yakoni. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, me down my trail.
There
One,
you go.
two, with you going.
Oh, jeez. Dave's gone off the deep end already.
It's a Mr.
We're,
Bill.
we're, we're not even 10 minutes in, and Dave's gone off the deep
Oh,
end.
Mr. Bill.
Oh, no.
Hey, I did have an opening. I did order 620 games in a mini NES game. In a mini NES.
Oh, cool.
2 controllers. It was only $25. I started going down a rabbit hole where I saw one, it said like 15,000 games or 50,000 games or something. I'm like, what the heck? So I go on and look at it, and it's so much for like 1,000 games, so much for this game, so much for the whole amount. And then I just went down and I saw the mini one, and it's 620 games. You could upgrade it as well, but I found it for $25. Haven't played it yet. But it's got like a whole list of the stuff that you could. Okay, my eyes are so small I can't even see it. But Pac-Man.
Oh, I read all of those already.
Yeah, yeah. Defender, Pac-Man, Contra,
Does it have
Paperboy.
Bubble Bobble?
But what is it?
Bubble Bobble.
I'll have to look. Bubble Bobble.
Na
Because it's
na
like
na
in
na na
different.
na 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 na.
And they have the same one about 100 times. So
Okay.
so I don't know how many different there actually are. There's like 12 Contras and things like that. So I think it's different versions that they came out with a new
Right.
character, or maybe one bit different or something.
Yeah, who knows? Might be one
Yeah.
year different.
Yeah, or this is the Asian one and this is the U.S. version, that
Oh
kind of thing.
yeah. Different
Yeah.
languages. That makes sense.
So out of 620, there's probably maybe 60 unique games, but that still would be that's still a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
so all right, couple of the TV watching.
I did not finish watching The Boys. We have 3 more episodes to go.
Oh my God!
So don't tell me anything. You are not allowed to do any spoiler alerts, or I will
Oh,
come over there and I
I
will.
thought there were 10 episodes coming, and I go out after Friday. And, well, where's the new episode? Where's the new episode?
It's
Damn,
not
there's
10.
only 8.
There are only 8.
8.
I think I only have one more to watch then.
Yes.
I wish I
well,
would have known that. Oh, damn
yes.
it.
Yes, unless they're going to pop another one out later. But it's just right now, they've stopped. They're done. I'll look again.
Man, I want a 10.
I know. Like, in the old days, it was what, 26?
No,
Like,
13. And they always
no,
did
no.
2 seasons, 13 and 13.
Well, no, that's ever since it's gone to pay-per-view stuff. But I mean, when you had a TV show, a season was like 26 shows,
Yeah, but then they broke it up into 2 halves because then they could cancel you halfway through and put in a replacement.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the mid-season replacements. All right. But okay, so we won't talk about The Boys. All right, but I did have a series end, the 100. I
Okay.
don't know if you ever saw that.
No.
It's been going on for a few years now. Gosh, I didn't even look how many. It's 5 or so.
Okay.
But it's been kind of a fun little show. Again, like anything, jumped the shark the last season, just trying to finish it up.
They
But,
all do that.
yeah, because they weren't supposed to run that long. Let's face it. Well, did you catch up with The Expanse yet?
Well, The Expanse doesn't finish, and it's still going. Yeah, I'm
Right,
up to date on The Expanse, but
but this is a bad season last season. That was like it was the most boring season I've
it
ever
was
seen.
a linking season because it was taking
Yeah.
some stuff from the books. From what I've read online, The Expanse took stuff from the books that they're not going to be able to expand upon and kind of merge them together so it makes sense for the coming season. They said that's fine. Most of the people
Uh,
who read the book said it's fine
God,
because
it
it'll
was
all make
quicksand,
sense.
man. I felt in quicksand that whole. I went through the seasons. That was it. That could have been 12 minutes a season. It could have been a one show season. A 2 hour special could have taken that whole season.
Oh, you
Yeah.
don't like the Belters, no?
So and they had an ending. So and I actually, everybody gripes about how shows end, and I enjoyed the ending. So if you're ever gonna start and finish a whole show, the 100 is worth starting and
Okay,
stopping.
so that's because we started watching Killjoys, and I watched every season but the last season of Killjoys because it was like it just started getting so bizarro and muddied, and there's some really good actors in there, and it's like it just started really pissing me off. That's why I told Roger, I said it's not worth my time to watch the last season. So because
And then
my
you can
time
always
is
come back
valuable,
to
damn
it.
it.
You can always come back to it if you want.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and
for
then
sure.
so I did. I grabbed because I finally took my hook on the clickbait always asking me to check it out. Found Utopia from the Amazon. It's got Rainn Wilson in it. Kuzak's a bad guy in it. So boy. So it was interesting, and there's some good stuff going on. But I'll tell you, you talk about some of the things that we talk about that has a shock value, or people that have how would you plot armor. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah,
I
yeah.
think we weren't even into the second episode or maybe third, and people I thought had plot armor just boop.
Oh, they were doing a Game of Thrones with them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is yeah. There's no one sacred. I think I'm gonna die out here. I don't even think I'm safe. You
They're
know?
gonna come through the TV.
Yeah, on me. That's how blatantly I don't get. It doesn't care who dies in this one. But it's kind of a Donnie Darko because there's a rabbit going on in a cart in a comic.
Oh, okay.
So
Love
there's
Donnie
there's
Darko.
some fun conspiracy. It's a good conspiracy theory thing
Okay.
going on there. So
I don't have this in show notes, but my guilty watch is the Great British Baking Show. Have you ever seen that?
oh my gosh, I've seen many seasons of that.
So
Yes,
I just finished watching
all
2019.
Hollywood.
Yeah, and Paul Hollywood has a lot of cars, as you can see behind me. We love cars. So he has a lot of cars. He actually did a show on one of the streaming services, and I highly suggest you look it up because it's actually a really cool series. But my guilty pleasure is the Great British Baking Show. So I have one more season to catch up, and then I'll have watched all of them.
Yeah. I've bopped in and out, and it's one of those things where I've watched like maybe 3 seasons or four, and then I keep seeing the same one of them I've seen over and over. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
the guy with the kind of baldy head that just made these beautiful like birdhouses with his food and all
Oh
that.
yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah, but in the end, he was the most accomplished baker, but they let him go because you're not learning anything here. You're really good already. You haven't really made any strides here. And they, because they went on a guy that made strides throughout the whole thing. And I so appreciate British baking, British for the people for that fact alone. That it's not about, well, yeah, you're the best. We're going to give you no, you're the best. Get out of here. We're going to concentrate on the people that grew during the show. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
like
I love that show. It's just so wholesome and fun
Oh, and
and
all
yeah.
four of the hosts are great.
Yeah.
The older lady and the two girls. I mean, they're great. They're all
Yep.
great. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I like the new ones with Sandra and Noel. I did like the other one with the two comedian ladies, but Sandra
Right.
and Noel are really fun, and Paul and Prue are really good together. So and my favorite thing is Soggy Bottom. So
Yeah.
so
I
yeah.
wish, just like anything else, when I watch home shows, I wish I could get more information about what they're making and how they're doing it. And I'm sure you can go online and find it, but you know what I mean. It's like the show takes over from the cooking sometimes, and I want to know more. How are you proofing this? What did you do?
Yeah, yeah, especially yeah with some of the bread stuff. And I've got some really good bread cookbooks and stuff. I mean, there are a few really excellent cookbooks out there if you ever want to some suggestions, I can tell you, because there's
All
some
right, well, we're a cooking
awesome.
show today so far, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We're all about food. So anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. Come on. There we go. Internet adventures. So, do you remember the Sears catalog?
Oh yeah, as a young boy, I always take a look at the underwear area for that one. Yeah, all the
Yes, yes, I know the Sears catalog with the pornographic section.
hey, that or that National Geographic's at the library.
What? What? There's nothing in National Geographic. Well, I just want to show everybody what I got in the mail the other day.
Yeah, that's wild.
Okay, look who it's from. So
Amazon
this
catalog.
is their wish book with all the toys in it. I mean, I thought we were supposed to be shopping online. This
No,
is
no,
a
that's what you mean
children's.
by when you were a kid. When you were really a kid, you got the catalog and it was Christmas, and you would circle everything that you wanted in the parents and get, yeah, I want this and I want this. You'd circle everything in those things and give it to your parents. You go, here's my list.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I was just blown away by that. Now that they're sending actual paper catalogs, I haven't had a paper catalog other than a seed catalog in forever. Like seriously.
My place I get my tie-dye dyes from, Dharma. They used to send one every once in a while, but I've moved and haven't kept up with it. But
Oh
yeah, it was
yeah.
kind of odd to get a big thing in the mail like that.
Yeah, because I mean, I used to when I was a seamstress, I used to get all the, all the costuming catalogs. All had all the costume fabrics, and then I had Notions catalogs, and I had Swarovski crystal catalogs. I had all sorts of crazy catalogs. I'd go out to my mailbox. It was like Christmas every day. Now it's like, you want to look at something? Look online.
Well, and that's why, I bet mailmen were a lot stronger people back in the day because they had to lug those things wrong or so, than they are today.
Yeah, but now they're just delivering Amazon packages along with everybody else. So,
That's
so
true.
anyway, but to have all that, you gotta have some money. So did you see that article I linked from Bloomberg that Wall Street is looking to Reddit and Twitter for trends? Isn't that interesting? They're looking to social media for trends.
Well, isn't that what it's all about? Isn't that why there's influencers?
Yeah, that's a little different. This is actually they're looking for uh according to the article, they're looking for how people are thinking and, whether it be good trends or bad trends, but they are looking for trending. And I just thought it was really interesting to choose places like Twitter or Reddit, especially Reddit, where a lot of people are anonymous. It's kind of strange, but then it does make a little bit of crazy sense. But so if you're an investor,
It's another mind. It's another data mine.
well, see, and that's just what it is. It's another data point that they can use to, yeah, do some stuff. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of interesting, especially since the stock market's been really volatile. So
To say the least.
to say the least, yep, yep.
If
So,
I get my 401k thing in the mail, I'm just not even going to open it and just throw it in the garbage and wait for the next one.
our last several were good. Then the final one we got just like for the month of October. Hey, there's Lito.
Oh,
The one we got for the month of October was not that great. So, yeah, don't open it. Throw it in the garbage.
oh, yeah.
So, yeah, you had some things.
Sure, sure. Now, executive pacifiers. Earlier, I was showing you my games, and of course, those are old classic games and things. I mean, have you ever had on your phone an executive pacifier, something that while you're waiting for something, you pull out Words with Friends or anything, or Mahjong or anything like that?
I actually do nonograms. So those are number puzzles, and you fill in the little thingies according to whatever, and it makes a picture. But it
Okay,
is.
not like a Sudoku type thing,
It's
only.
not Sudoku, but it's I'd have to show it to you. It's basically a grid, and so let's say it'll be like a 10 by 10 grid, and so it'll say 1 and 8. So that means this one's 1, and then you go 8 across, and with 1 in between, and then you do like whatever, and you figure it out, and then it makes like fills in all the little spaces and makes a picture.
Ah,
So they're
guys.
kind of fun.
All right. So that's your executive pacifier.
Yes.
Right? I mean, I've got a few of them. Poker I play. Angry Birds is still on mine. Tetris is still on mine. This one I play is a bubble drops. When you do the
Oh yeah, the
three
bubble
bubbles
games.
or
Yep.
more, and
Yep.
you can do a lightning bolt that cuts through them all, or a bomb if you get so many, and things like that. I have, I don't know, like
Lito's prettier than you.
I have I have 1,500 coins, which I have never used, and I'm up to like I don't know what it is, 70 or 80 of these bombs and things that I just could hoard them because I don't ever use them. Now, all of a sudden, I keep on playing, and all of a sudden, more levels coming soon, and I'm like, what?
Oh, isn't that frustrating?
3,950 I ended at. And that's been not even since I got the phone a year ago.
So when I had my shop, my executive pacifier was Super Granny. So Super Granny was a game where there's a little grandma, and then she had like a almost like a maze or like this little area she'd run through, and she'd have to collect all the kitties and bring them to the rainbow and make them safe. And they got more and more progressively difficult, and there were like I don't know how many versions of Super Granny, but it's like I loved Super Granny, and then they sold the company and they didn't make any more, and I was so sad. But now I found I can get Super Granny if I want it, so
Well, can you go get on the Wayback Machine and find it?
there you go. I'm going the Wayback Machine.
Somebody just used that. I was reading an article, and they went to find something, and they said they used the Wayback Machine to actually look at the dates in question on somebody to see if they were there. Oh, when they were
Cool.
when they were bringing what's her name in to confirm her. Yeah,
That was one of our listeners. They watched our show and listened, and then they knew to look at the Wayback Machine.
Yeah, exactly. We're influencing politics now.
We are. Look at us. We're influencers. We're going to be internet famous one day.
All right. So sometimes on Facebook you get the ads and you say, I don't want to see this ad, and it's like, why? Because it's repetitive, it's abusive abuse, it's sensitive material.
Pinterest does kind of the same thing.
Right. So I had a Trump ad, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to see these anymore. And they go, and then there's a little thing where you can say, why am I seeing this ad? Like, why am I targeted on this, more or less? And I hit the button, and it said, this is for people of fans of Benjamin Netanyahu and the Green Bay Packers. And I'm like,
that makes no sense.
What Venn diagram is that? Friends of Netanyahu and Green Bay Packers, and here's me. And again, where did I get off thinking I'm a friend of Benjamin Netanyahu? I mean,
Benjamin Netanyahu is a super conservative Israeli who's now being investigated for fraud. I don't even. Yeah, did he get? Oh, great. The cat is now playing with everything. Did he get, he got, not convicted. He got,
censored or whatever they do.
Whatever they do over there.
Impeachment that we do here.
Yeah.
A vote of unconfidence, maybe, is that less. But it's just odd that's what they're part, who's the guy that's sitting in the room going like, yeah, get that Green Bay Packer Benjamin Netanyahu group on our side. They're easily pushed.
Right. Well, now we know that you are a huge fan of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Okay, that was something I didn't know about you, Dave. Now Facebook's let the cat out of the bag.
Gee whizzikers, and that's why data mining works.
That's right.
That's right. In the right spot.
Yeah, that algorithm, that artificial intelligence. Yes. All righty. Well, let's move on. Come on. There we go. Is this critical? Okay, so you remember Foxconn, don't you?
Yeah. Well, they were trying to ask for some more of the money back, and they said, well, but you haven't done what you said, so you have to pay us money, or we're not giving you the taxes credit because you haven't done what you said to get the tax credit.
Well, yeah, because Evers is holding their feet to the fire. But the thing is The Verge, which is a tech and kind of tech-related news site. They have some very good journalists there. They did a whole article, and it's a very long read. It's called "The Eighth Wonder of the World," talking about Foxconn and how about they first of all didn't bring the jobs that they said they were going to bring, that it was a huge con job, that Trump and Walker, made all these deals in bad faith, that there were people hired in Milwaukee and also at their, whatever, the fab. And the people who were hired in Milwaukee were in like some old rickety ass building. And they're basically saying that they had to bring their own pencils and their own laptops because Foxconn provided nothing. They were given a lot of reassurances that, oh, we're refurbishing the building and, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And it never happened. And these poor people are like, well, we have a job, but it's not, is it really a job? Not to mention the people who, were basically bilked out of their land that was taken over, and all of the money. Yeah, I mean, all the money that Wisconsin basically put out for this company that has not kept a single promise on any of these places that they built. But, for some reason, Walker and Trump, to line their own pockets, thought it was a good idea to bring that to Wisconsin. And I tell you, the people who are in the area are just furious, and I don't blame them. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. So it's like, it's frustrating, But yeah, we got conned. There you go. Foxconn.
But it wasn't Don's fault.
No. The GOP had nothing to do with it, aside from the fact
China! It's because it was China!
Oh, my God. Don't even. He irritates me so bad when he does that.
China!
Yep. So, have you been to restaurants, bars, anything like that lately?
Just for some takeout, and yeah, we're us. We're not going. I want to see music, but if they have music inside, I'm not going there. And the Saloon and Calhoun, they're a great music joint. They're a great bar, but boy, is that guy going nuts, because of the Evers thing. And they just. I understand he's losing their business. They're losing their business.
It's a shame for a lot of people, but the Tavern League has sued Evers over the mask mandate, which they won that. Then they took it to another judge on appeal, and they won that appeal. So now the mask mandate and the capacity mandate is back up. But a lot of people are putting together these lists online of places that are part of the Tavern League, because who brought the suit was not the GOP. It was the Tavern League, a pro-life movement, and then like one other party. And so they're the ones who basically brought this. So I'm going to read you what Ale Asylum wrote, because Ale Asylum is a member of the Tavern League. Now, a lot of these, breweries they're tired of it, And so what they basically said is, hello, Madison Beyond. There are posts here all around social media regarding the Tavern League and their response to this ongoing pandemic. We have responded to individuals across multiple social media channels and wanted to post our official response to the Reddit community, because this was on the Wisconsin subreddit. Our reason for having a Tavern League membership in the past was to support small businesses of Wisconsin and to receive safe ride vouchers for our patrons, providing people safe, free cab rides after having one too many. That makes sense, right? And then he said, but when we renewed our membership earlier this year, our crystal ball did not tell us there would be a pandemic, nor did it tell us how the Tavern League would respond to statewide emergency orders. Do we agree with them? No. Will we renew in 2021? No. However, there is no way to revoke our current membership status. And so they go on to say about how you should be safe out there and that they're not going to renew their Tavern League status. So I want to just encourage everybody who does go to places that are part of the Tavern League, lists of people who are part of that, please contact your individual, joint that you're going to, because to your point, these are small businesses, and once they've joined the Tavern League, that's for the whole year. And so when they renew their membership, when that comes up, they may not renew based on whether you get back to them and to have a conversation about how you don't want to,
Be associated with somebody who's making that kind of vocal statements.
Exactly. So it's like there are a lot of people out there who I know they have a lot of favorite places that they frequent, and I encourage you to talk to those places, talk to the people involved, because they are small businesses. They employ a lot of locals.
No, it's that, and I'm only having problems with again a place I used to like, but I can see the panic from them, but I don't want to go there, even because he's fighting hard to have it not happen. So now
Right.
I'm choosing not to even. I don't even want to even. I want to do the opposite to go order food from him,
Right.
because he's being vocal about being anti this, and so that's how I am spending my money. As long as you're not being anti this, I'm going to be pro you, okay?
Well, basically, for the people who, are trying to protect themselves and their loved ones, packing into a bar or a restaurant is the last thing you really should be doing. Yourself, your loved ones are at risk because that's one of the riskiest places to go. Doing the takeout, go for it, or like you said, if they're having an event that's outdoors, go for it. But there are a certain amount of bar owners who are definitely fighting the capacity limits and even the mask mandate. And it's like, well, you want to put your patrons at risk as well as the rest of the state. You don't deserve our money.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, you are going to lose your business, but 60%, half of the businesses out there are going to go. This is just what's going to happen, folks. And I'm sorry it's yours. I'm sorry I don't have as much feeling for it because I'm not one of those people, but this is just what's going to happen now. Just as like if all of a sudden tomorrow we decided that nobody can sell bottled water, there's going to be somebody who's going to have a problem with that.
Nestle. Nestle will have a huge problem with that.
But we're going to have to adjust, folks. It's going to, cigarette people had to adjust. It's just stuff has to adjust,
Well, and I hate this phrase, but it is the new normal. And we know that there's going to be businesses that are going to fold. So, you try your best to support the
guys are sitting there like,
why
aren't you just penalizing the guys up north that are doing it? Why are you penalizing us down here? How do you think the guys up north got that way? It's because they weren't doing it right.
Exactly.
And people that sit around still and go like, well, it really didn't turn out to be that much. Well, we went over the number that they predicted. Okay, we've done that already. And again, this is why we didn't have every football game, basketball game, concert, church picnic. We didn't have any of those things going on. What do you think that number would still be the same if we had every one of those things? Come on, people. The number is low right now, and you're shocked at how low it is because we did things right. Please keep doing it.
Well, they're not low anymore because we had another record day, over 4,000. Yes. Was it 4,500? I think.
It's a 2-day total because they had the pickup over the weekend.
Yeah, but they had a huge total, and
still 7,000 in 2 days or whatever.
Yeah, and
for the last 3-4 days. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, and my daughter, where she works, she's been exposed a few times because people refuse to do what they're supposed to do, and she says she's lost number of the times she's been tested because of contact tracing. She's been in contact with those people every time it's been negative, but she's playing Russian roulette at this point.
Yeah, they think they say Wisconsin's probably right at 20% right about now.
It was over 20%. The last one I read was 21.9, which is like the rest of the average is like 5% for the rest of the country. and let's face it.
We're number one. Well, really 3 or 4, right?
I think we're number 2 or 3. But let's face it. Between 1955. Okay, I'm going to throw out facts again. Between 1955 and 1975, how many people were killed in the Vietnam War? Come on, Dave.
It's already over. I know that we are over that.
That? It was 53,000. We are well over 200,000, so we are almost 4 times as many people, and nobody gives a shit. It's like 20 years, for 53,000 people to die in a war. We have 200,000 people plus dead in, 7-8 months?
And we're only halfway there.
Halfway? We're not even close to being done. So, since I'm done ranting, we're going to let MoKE have a moment. All right, Dave. What do we got today?
All right. I was texting with someone, and all of a sudden, a text came back, in which I do, and I have no problem with it, is the thumbs up, right?
Yep.
You know,
Hey. Yeah.
boop, thumbs up. It's like saying okay or even K. Thumbs
K.
up.
I do K.
Yeah,
K.
K. Yeah. Well,
Coolio.
I started
K.
doing thumbs up because someone gave me crap about, well, you don't have time to do okay. Okay, so now I'm going with the thumb, and that's one. So, but I got one back, and it was white, and I'm looking at it going
Like white?
Caucasian, let's say,
Okay.
all right.
So we're talking
So
about
I'm like,
skin color here.
yeah, and I'm like, I was complaining to someone. I said, "Can you believe someone actually went and did that? Would take the time to make sure they went through and got their race, ethnicity, color." And someone said, "Well, if it's an iPhone, it may have been an
Yes.
update, and they know who you are, and it reacts to who you are. Like if it knows you're a Caucasian, it just mimics what you are." And I'm like, well, that's I didn't know that. I don't have an iPhone. I'm like, well, that's pretty presumptuous.
Yeah.
But I want to go. I want to take another step back. First of all, if someone switches it on purpose, I find that's very distasteful. All right, that's to me micro racism, in my opinion. Now, people I'm sure went out there and saw yellow, and how come we're not represented? Our skin tones. Well, no, nobody's skin tone was represented. See, doesn't that just make what we're trying to get to here? Everybody was yellow, and that wasn't an Asian yellow. So everybody was just a nondescript color.
Like stop, caution, go yellow.
Right,
From a
right,
stoplight.
right. So it's very nondescript, nothing. But then all of a sudden, everybody who wants to be included and everybody who wants us to get to one point where none of this stuff matters needed to all of a sudden be identifiable with my own color. And now we just segregate ourselves in something that we didn't have to segregate ourselves with.
This has actually been really controversial online. I've read
Pass
a
it
few
along.
things that
This is something pissed me off. I'm
well, some
sorry.
people are real upset, and then some people are like, "Well, you have to understand that people want to be represented," and it's like, so I think there's two sides to the story. It's just a matter of my cat's doing silly things. There's two sides of the story, but you know, I think it's where we're going because I don't know if you've ever noticed because I have an Android, they have different colors for the faces on some of the stuff too.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I don't ever get down that far because I'm never trying to do emojis, for conversation. Like I
Yeah,
said,
I
it's,
don't either. I
every
just
once in
use
a
a
while it's a
few.
smile, a wink, maybe, and the thumbs up. I think if you look at my time one, I think there's four in there, and three of those because I was just having a wild time one time.
Oh, see, we do a lot of food ones, so there's usually a lot of like vegetables or cake,
Eggplant.
donuts. No, there's no eggplant because but I always give my husband a donut because we have donuts every Thursday, so I always bring him the donut because I don't eat it, and so I'll text him the donut. It's like donut day.
There's a honey dip donuts, and I don't know where it is. Chrissy drives us by, and it's over. There's a honey dip donuts, and most of their donuts are just not worth it much of it. But they have an apple fritter there that's almost the size of my head. That is just delicious. Just the best apple fritter there ever was.
Yeah, see, well, when Dave and I worked in the same office, it was pick and save donuts.
That's right. You can't get better than that, man. Really good. That and Greeby, unless you can go right to Greeby's or something.
Well, we
Yeah.
get Greeby's donuts at work, and I will say the pick and save donuts from however many years ago that was were better because now Kroger's has taken over, and the pick and save donuts are not as good as when you and I.
Right, right. Used to get that. Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's a quick the hat.
Oh
New,
yeah, nice.
the new I'm
Oh,
gonna
and we didn't talk about your artwork behind you
Oh
last
yes,
time.
Pat Roush, 1993. It's a print for the Mekon chapter of Whitetails Unlimited. It was assigned 15 of 25, so that's a limited edition.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
I can see I have my Halloween decoration on it as well. My bat. That's my
Okay, there you go.
My celebration of Halloween.
I didn't notice whether you guys noticed, but the monkey is riding the dragon.
Oh, I don't know. Can we see that? Where is that?
Yeah, right there. Can you see it?
Oh, way back there.
Yeah,
Jesus.
he's back there. The monkey is riding the dragon. So I don't know. That's for nothing. So
That
let's.
that sounds like some code word that we use when we're the monkey is riding the dragon. Oh my God.
So this is hip happenings. So Dave, I'm gonna let you start us off because you got a couple things on here.
Rock USA and Coosa Country USA up in Oshkosh. You know, it's up in that big place across from the EAA there
Yeah,
every
yeah.
year. There was a big letter that she put out because people were asking about refunds who prepaid and everything. And she just said, you know, listen, we're working through this. We're trying to get you all our money. There's lots of things that need to be done. And just so you know, this has bankrupted us. The business is gone. 30 years they've been doing concerts and this kind of thing. And from what everything it is, and he goes, don't worry, none of the trustees got to, I mean, nobody's lining their pockets on their way out. There's trustees watching all the money. Everybody, they can get some of their money back that they paid in. We're going to try to do that. But, you know, sorry, and we're gone. And, you know, thanks for the 30 years, you know. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Oh, that's really sad because, you know, that's 3 decades of music and experiences for people.
Oh, my God. And up there, I don't know, I never really appreciated Rock USA. It was just a flat field and I don't know, man, dusty. And it was no Yaskar's farm, I'll tell you that.
Oh, jeez.
But it is kind of wild. At the same time that's happening, the Cadott Festival that's up north has got their lineup already for this year. They got Disturbed, Stain, Limp Bizkit. Boy, they're back. Snoop Dogg. You know, so
Snoop's good, yeah.
Yep, some corn. They got Chevelle, Queensryche,
Ooh,
Slaughter.
I like Chevelle.
Yep. Bad Wolves, and they're pretty good right now. Usually some of the deeper ones are fun, but Steel Panther, they're a lot of fun. So yeah, they have a thing going on. Actually, they've got it scheduled on 2021 from July 15th through the 17th. So, you know, like Summerfest,
There you
we're
go.
trying to get it. And I actually was able to go down. They had a quick thing for Summerfest, bring some food, perishable foods. They gave you a ticket. So I've already got a ticket to Summerfest.
Oh, there you go. That's kind of cool. If it actually happens, because as everybody remembers, they're doing it from Thursday to Saturday.
That's why I'm not buying any tickets in advance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing.
So did you ever get the We Energies cookie book?
Yes, we said, and then all of a sudden I was told, Mom, did you want me to pick me one up? And she goes, oh, I can just get it online when it's done. And I'm like,
Yeah, but that's not the same. So they are doing
that's my mom. My mom is even saying, I can just get it online.
Well, you can get it online. However, if you want a physical copy of the We Energies cookie book, it starts being available November 4th. They have the schedule on the We Energies site. Go ahead and check that out. But if you
drive through State Fair Park and pick one up, right? Isn't
that
easy?
there's I think they've got a few locations this year. But, you know, and if you're not so inclined to get outside because of COVID, you can get it online like Dave's mom. All right, what else you got, Dave?
There was something I thought was just hilarious when I was watching it on the news. They were talking about Bear Paw Beach, which is in Caledonia. It's a pumpkin patch type thing, apple holler, I think, whole 9 yards. But they said, yeah, one of the things, make sure when you come out here is, come over to the apple cannons. And they turn around, and there are these, I swear, they had to at least be 10 feet long. The housing was huge. And people were putting apples in it, and then you hit a button and it fired the apple at targets out in front of you. It just shot them like a big howitzer.
Oh, that sounds like a blasting.
Yeah, and there was a 2020 sign, and they said, well, what people really going for a lot? He goes, well, yeah, the 2020 sign seems to be getting, everybody wants to blast the hell out of 2020, it seems like. So the sign's we've had to repaint it a couple of times.
Oh, that sounds like a blast. That's fun.
But yeah, this apple cannon just, do you remember the old potato cannons when you were a kid? Or, people would make
guns.
PBC, potato gun, yeah, cannon, you know. So yeah, that's hilarious. I would encourage anybody to let us know how that went. If you can get up to Caledonia on 7 Mile Road, Bear Paw Beach. Also coming up, Dia de los Muertes. We know that, right?
Uh, Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los Muertos.
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 Now
Dia de los Muertos.
tell everybody what that is, Dave.
Day of the Dead.
Okay, good.
I want to say it right when people ask.
So
I want to be able to say it right.
that's actually a Mexican holiday.
Correct.
Yeah, and so very serious Mexican holiday, and they do a parade. Do you know when the parade is this year, or are they even
No,
doing it?
maybe probably won't. Virtually again.
Yeah.
In your home, wear some skull masks and pray it at home.
Yep, sugar skulls.
Sugar skulls.
Sugar skulls. But yeah, that's always fun. I have a Dia de los Muertos mask that I made. It's got the little sugar skulls on it. It's pretty cool. I wear it to work.
That's nice. Yeah, it reminds you of the wrestlers.
Oh. You're weird.
Also, coming up is the film festival, and again, they aren't having anything in the theaters, so you can buy stuff to download and watch streaming through the MilwaukeeFilm.org. They're calling it SOFA
MKEfilm.org.
MKEfilm.org. Sorry if I said that wrong. So there's some films, and one of them in there is called about Wisconsin. Which looked kind of cool. So I'm really might just have to pay for that one. Small Town, Wisconsin, it's called. And it's a love letter to Milwaukee, the director said. So,
Cool.
but it's like a guy at a shop, and, so I really, and it's going to be locally shot. So definitely worth checking out for that. See the local haunts. Speaking of haunts, haunting, tarot card for beginners course. Now, the reason I threw this in is because I was like, well, that's kind of cool. Learn how to read tarot cards. Yeah, $250 per person.
I can give you the tarot cards for beginners.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of hooey.
YouTube video I can, watch or
No, when you buy the deck of tarot cards, because we did this when we were kids. When you buy the deck of tarot cards, it's got the little thing in it, and you just make up shit as you go along. So that's how you do it.
Yeah, I thought.
Okay, I want $250 now, Dave.
I thought that was just a little high. You didn't even say per couple or anything like that. So
Oh my God.
when I was down in New Orleans, I went into a voodoo shop and bought some tarot cards for my niece and daughter. So I got some good ones from down there.
They've got some beautiful designs. That's what I really liked about tarot cards. In fact, there's a couple of them that came up on my Pinterest. It's like, ooh, should I buy those? Because they're kind of cool looking. And I like graphic stuff, and I like artwork. So
Right. Very good, very fun stuff that they do on that. Very artistic, yes.
yeah.
And this one I grabbed just because I thought it was a hoot, the name of the thing. It's the Whiskey Waters Onesie Walk for Tiff and Kitties. I was trying to find out more about what
That
Tiff
sounds
was.
so Milwaukee.
Yeah. I've tried to figure out what Tiff was. I don't know if it's somebody who has passed and they're doing a walk for her cause, or she's got a cause now and they're walking for it. But they said she liked kitties, so I'm thinking she may have passed and this is something. But she liked kitties, this Tiff. So they get your best onesies and they have a walk. So look at Whiskey Waters for one time, and that is. But so I thought that was just a good little fun, onesie walk. That's
There you go, onesie walk. So don't wear your onesie, but definitely go to the domes. Starting November 7th, the Winter Farmers Market is open. They are going to be having some changes this year because of COVID. I don't know how they're going to handle the capacities and the distancing and whatnot, but I've been to the Winter Farmers Market at the domes. It's always a great experience. There's a lot of really good vendors there. Usually the mushroom guy is there. There's usually some bakers there.
Well, man, the mushroom man.
One of the mushroom men are there at least, and then usually some like root vegetables and potato guys and stuff like that. So it's really awesome. So I highly suggest people should go.
There
So,
will not be a cone there because nobody has it but me.
well, you need to be a vendor then. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta freeze some next. That's what I do.
Right. All right. So let's bubble up some
Pearls of
pearls of
wisdom.
wisdom. So this is my pearl of wisdom. Vote like your life depended on it, because it does.
Oh my gosh! I just to put a stamp on this, so to speak. I was just in the post office, and the guys at the counter, and they always, once you're done, he said, "Do you need any other kind of stamps or anything like that?" He goes, "Yeah, I need a book of $11 stamps or something like that." And he goes, "Well, what kind do you want? I've got this with this. I've got, and the flag and the American flag." And he goes, what do you have without the American flag? Just something without the American flag on it. And I'm just like, and she goes, "Well, we have the vegetables and this one." He goes, "Yeah, I'll take that one." And I'm just like thinking to myself, wow, man. I mean, I know how much I'm having a trouble with my nation right now, but I would never diss the flag, right?
Oh my goodness. Well, people are embarrassed of what's going on right now. So that's why we need to vote. We need to vote to get things back to where they need to be. I mean, we have,
We only have this ability because we're in America and under that flag, the ability to vote
yeah,
this guy out.
I
Uh,
agree. I
so
agree. But,
so you can believe in a lot. Even like when I said when Kaepernick was doing his knee, it wasn't about the flag. It wasn't. So it wasn't. And but boy, I mean, like I said, you got to be pretty mad out there to not want to put a flag on your stand. You're actually give. It's actually something you're giving away. You bought it. It's gonna go away.
it is what it is. And, let's face it, Trump is hamstringing the post office. So,
Well, yeah, didn't you think I heard that when I was in there? Six people in line and one person behind the counter, and they're going to count our ballots. No, they're not.
no, they're
They're
not your
not.
ballot counters.
And
So,
that's why there's only one person at the freaking counter, you jackass, because they're in back counting out that shit.
well, I just want to point out today was the first day you could vote early.
Yes.
So there's
And
vote, and you need to register to vote if you want to vote. So remember, you need to register. You can register at the polls, but you have to bring all of the proper ID and all the proper paperwork. Check out myvotewisconsin.org. They'll have all that information. We've already voted. Our votes are already dropped in and accounted for. They have not been counted, but they are accounted for.
I'm trying to go. They have a drive-through down over by our West Dallas, so I'm going to try to see how that works.
I just went to the city hall, and there's a drop box right out front. Punk, punk, done.
Yeah, I didn't get the early ballot, so I'll have to get one there.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, but it's just right there. So, everybody, please do that. Please vote. I don't care which way you vote, but make sure you do, because then your voice is heard.
All right.
That. All right. So, we'd like to thank our viewers and listeners. Dave's mom, my neighbor Pat.
Marianne, Chrissy.
There you go, Marianne and Chrissy. Teresa, if you're watching, hi. Anybody else who stumbles across us randomly, please watch. If you like what you're seeing, yep. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, you tell two people, they'll tell two people, they'll tell people, and then there's lots of people. So there you go. And then we can become internet famous because we want to be internet famous. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit.or.critical. Also, visit our Facebook page. Well, actually, it's a Facebook group, MoKE Milwaukee. And for some reason, my text isn't up. But you can shoot me a tweet at Alexa_MKE. So, yeah, I think that's about it. Anything else to add, Mr. Dave?
No, I already added more than I should have.
We're actually a little bit under an hour for the first time in a while.
I was actually looking at going like, don't add a lot of stuff, Dave. Don't add a lot of stuff. Maybe we can get to 30, 35, 40 minutes. No.
We're still almost an hour. We got 5 minutes to go. What do you want to... All righty.
If we would have turned it on for our pre-chit chat, we would have had the hour.
Yeah, well, our pre-chit chat was pretty boring, so, you know.
What? Sham torts? Come
Sham
on.
torts and pudding. I gotta go eat pudding. I'm
See,
sorry.
we're a cooking show. We started and ended on cooking stuff.
You know, when Pat and I talk, we always end up talking about cooking. It's like we'd stand outside before, you know, because I work full time now, but when I wasn't, when I was working out of the house and when I was working part time, we'd stand outside and we'd start talking about one thing. By the time we were done, we were talking about cooking.
It was cooking.
It was always cooking, yeah, yeah. Because you know,
All
hey.
right. Peace. Peace
All
out, everybody.
right, everybody, be good. Stay safe, Milwaukee. We love you. We love you. Bye.